completely ignored. But at the same time, it makes a lot of sense why Team Philippines does not want to pick it, considering the amount of obstacles that they have to go through. Like, you've got a Eve Real Woman Division, even though it's good, it's easy for you to go through, you have to think about the traps. You've got to think about a potential Franco hook. So, long story short, I feel like in the late game stage, the Karina is gonna struggle. But if you win and snowball at early stage game, it's not that bad of a pick if the Team Philippines decide to go for it.
It's kind of crazy we keep talking about these assassins, and the number one assassin that we keep talking about is Ling and Karina.
But Karina just getting ignored. I don't know why.
Yeah, but the thing is, we can also see like the drop in assassins that ever since the tank patch has been pushed in, we're not seeing a lot of Lancelots. We're not seeing a lot of Hayabusas. Even though like going up against a Claude, I would assume that Hayabusa and the Lancelot is pretty good. But the fact that there is a possibility that from the side of Philippines, Del Rosario can just take a tank jungle, and all of a sudden the assassins just won't do enough damage, or just like they just invade heavily, and then the assassin would just not have enough damage. It's crazy how the meta can shift just with one type of hero just getting pushed up.
Yeah, I feel like one of the biggest change was pretty much the itemization buff onto his Curse Helmet, where the damage scaling goes towards 100% extra damage onto his minions, which kind of allows a lot of tanks to utilize the situation. And oftentimes we do see it like assassin versus assassin matchups, right? Sometimes we have these instances where a fighter jungler is an amazing way to deal with it. So we did see a lot of Paquito back then, but ever since the nerf, we have kind of dwindled down on the amount of heroes that can actually go for the matchup. But seems like Team Philippines, they will take on that advice, and they are going to bring the Karina to the table.
Well, we keep talking about it, right? So eventually it will.
Yeah,
because my dad did say, if you keep saying something, then it will become true.
I'm gonna get rich, and saying in a million times, will I get rich? You better say yes.
Eventually. Eventually, you know? The world is fair and unfair at the same time. Right now, Philippines, they have shown they're the Karina pick, so they're pretty solid on all ends. They just haven't shown their roamer just yet.
All right.
It's gonna be pretty scary if they're gonna pair up the Karina with, let's say, an Estes or a Rafaela. Just anyone that can kill them very fast, and then just invade. And right now, the Dyrov as well as the Baras as well has been banned out a couple of times, but right now has been let through. I kind of want this Bara to go to the jungle, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it is very possible as well. The Baras jungle is an decent matchup against the Karina, because this is gonna be a tank versus tank-ish jungler. But the only difference between the Barats as well as the Karina is that the Karina does have a little bit more mobility, whereas Barats is going to be leaning on the tanky side. So Team Philippines, they do have the Claude, but final pick there, it is going to be lacking the roamer position. So it's something that they may need to go for. But okay, I'm a little bit surprised with the Lolita pickup, but I can see that the amount of shield stack on the Karina is going to help him out a little bit more in this passive ability. And the Numenor Blast is a great way to completely shut down, I would say, a 5-second standing dinosaur going for some meal. If that makes sense.
Sure. But yeah, I feel like
Daytona's welcome, okay? Get it? You know, 5 seconds.
Yes,
dinosaur.
I do. Anyways, I feel like the Lolita pick is very good, just for the reason that number one, has a very reliable stun in her first skill. So whenever the Karina actually does want to go in, he could just stun up anyone in front, and then the Karina is like, okay, you know what? You chose, and I'm just gonna follow up. Going there, get the kills, and then you know, like in the later stages of the game, if they do not know where the Lolita is, and then they're just gonna get surprised by the Numenor Blast. They're just like, I don't remember being this low before.
Yeah.
And then by the time you realize, oh, it's too late.
It's very, very hard to actually predict as well, right? But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the match between Team Laos as well as Philippines, with Team Laos on the blue side and Philippines on the red side. This is going to be the third series for today, as we're going to be having more games to come, as all the nation's national teams are going to be battling it out. However, we do see the invades coming in right from the get-go, as Nano Ship looking to go in for the reset, but it seems like instead of going for the reset, he is going to go for the harassment. But the Lolita shields is going to keep him alive, and somehow they are going to be able to win in the trade-off from Team Philippines.
Yeah, overall, Villa Luna has been very well. Like, managing to actually help secure the buff and managing to help your mid laner stay alive in just the first minute of the game has done so much. But now we have to see how it scales up, because we are looking at both the Karina as well as the Baras. How will they perform? Which one is actually going to have a clear-cut advantage when it comes to the turtle fight? Because I feel like that is what both these teams are waiting for. Get a level 4, try to get a turtle fight, because as of right now, up in the EXP lane, it looks like Soto is having a little bit of a rough time going up against this Darov coming in from JZ Bin.
Yep, I definitely agree. Meanwhile, on the bottom side as well, Gonzalez, he is playing the safe approach as well, with Distant going to be able to win on the trade-off against this harassment. But now with Koopa down in the equation, I like how Team Laos is trying to secure the farm and win this lane, whereas Team Philippines is just looking to react to this. So it's going to be a defensive play, but they are not going to be able to do too much coming from Team Laos with this push down, rotation down bottom.
Yeah, I want to see Team Laos actually winning more on the
look at this.
on the lanes. And right now,
this is big.
Yes, Barat is pretty big going up, and right now Soto is engaging, but it looks like the Barats will not have that big of an issue. Will Philippines actually commit for this turtle or not?
Yep, seems like they might consider as well. There's going to be a 4v4 fight straight out from the get-go. Who's going to get the turtle? It seems like that is going to be Del Rosario securing him in the vicinity, but there's no transition as Team Laos completely goes in for the reset and retreats. All right.
Yeah, we have to see where Philippines, they know when they want to go in. For Laos, they're still considering whether they want to or not. And something interesting here to point out is that the Claude, before that, we look at Soda over there in the top side. There's nowhere for him to go. And First Blood goes over to the Philippines.
Yeah, that's going to be a good pickoff coming from Team Philippines to go in for the fight. Meanwhile, bottom side as well, Team Laos, they are going to be occupied on trying to secure the farm on towards Viston. Meanwhile, the invades are coming in from Team Philippines to deny resources of jungles away from Team Laos.
Right now, for the side of Philippines, again, I just feel like they're just waiting. They're just waiting for Laos to actually overextend, because as of right now, Philippines, they don't mind waiting for a bit. And right now, they see that something is going on in the orange buff area, and they're considering whether they want to commit or not. It looks like, you know what, it's not really worth it. It's just an orange buff. We have one too.
Yep, the Clock of Destiny, very early one coming from Imam as well. It's only 3 minutes in the game, and right for the get-go, this is gonna give him an early stack to actually scale a little bit more coming with the Xavier. Seems like they are gonna be experimenting with the Xavier as well, after being thrown in their face time and time again when they're matched up against Team Malaysia earlier today. And here comes Dotting. Oh my goodness! That's some big boy damage coming from Imam.
That is a lot of damage. I feel like he just wanted to help clear the minion, and then he did a little bit more. That's an overachiever. Nominum Blast managing to hit on to the Franco. And right now, Real Woman Militia has been activated, and right now, Team Philippines, they're trying to go away, but one by one, they're getting pushed out. Del Rosario managing to survive just with, I would say, non-existent health. I did not see any HP on that bar just now.
Just one auto attack. Del Rosario was able to escape it all. But in the midst of this confusion as well, even though there was trades after trades, Team Laos, they're faring pretty okay in terms of economy. And look at this. Looks like they are going to be focusing on the harassment. The Team Philippines looking to concede the turtle just because Del Rosario was bullied out of the situation. But once again, Team Philippines, they're going for the reset. It seems like they are going to try and stall this game a little bit longer just because they need some more items on Imam.
Yeah, Gonzalez has to be careful just because we can see the Franco kinda likes being down here, likes to be on the gold lane side, and he probably understands what's going on. That's why he keeps using his Blazing Duet just to clear the minions, and then, you know what, I'm just gonna back off. I'm just gonna go home. And right now on the top side, we're looking at this Dyrov against Esmeralda matchup, and Dyrov is looking very happy. I can see the smile on his face.
Yeah, it's pretty clear-cut as well. The Dyrov is going to be able to win the matchup as well. Considering that going for the Festival of Blood means they is going to go for a little bit more in a sustained division coming in from J4Z Finn. But as of yet, despite all the trades here, it seems like Team Philippines, they don't really care about winning the early engagements. It's more about trading 50-50s as long as they can, and eventually in terms of scaling, they do scale a little bit harder compared to Laos just because of what the Karina can bring to the table, the Claude can bring to the table, as well as the Xavier. So they're not taking any unnecessary risk, but guess what? Bistan is going to be forcing the issue as he gets a nice kill onto his Gonzalez. Meanwhile, the rest of the teams here comes the spread and the Daytona Smoker from Lexi looking for the play. The Numenor Blast connects on two, but Imam is trying his best to poke his way through, but Del Rosario, despite being bit off, chewed and spat out, he was able to come up alive with 1 HP.
How did he survive that? Okay, that was amazing, but I do have to say, I like what Team Laos is doing right now. They're making sure that they win the EXP as well as the gold lane. 1v1, no problem, you know? J4ZB, he has this under the back. He has one itemization, 100 strike over there. He has enough penetration to go up against the Esmeralda. They just want to make sure that in terms of gold lane, they can win. So they put 3, sometimes even 4 people down in the gold lane just to make sure that Gonzalez has a very, very difficult time to farm. But with that being said, he already has his Demon Hunter sword. So he's not really being slowed down that much. He's still in a good enough position.
Agreed, but as of it, you can see too easy for Lexi. He's forced to start the turtle, try and build up his tech and sustain it while trying to force Team Philippines to a fight. Well, the Rosario playing it safe. Nano going for the hook, gonna miss his mark as well, but looks like the Lord is gonna be in the hands of Laos, and now with the fight coming in, the Rosario is gonna be bit off and isolated from right. A big Numenor Blast comes in, but where's the follow-up? Here comes the blazing duet, but seems like Team Laos a little bit too tanky to pick the fight. But no, the Dawning Light gets cancelled by the Iron Hook, but it's all good, my friend. Here it comes. Imam connects the dot, and Soto will receive the rebound, goes in for the dunk, gets a kill. And Team Laos seems to be losing a little bit too much, more than expected. But as of yet, Team Laos, they're forced to go for the full retreat despite those trades.
We can see that for both sides of the team, all the athletes here, they kind of want to take a little bit more. They're like, you have little HP. I just really want to go in front. I just want to do a little bit more basic attack damage, but they understand the stakes are high, so better not. And right now we can see the 1v2. No problem for Dyra managing to actually get the Esmeralda. Almost getting a double kill with that. That is actually very, very impressive coming in from the side of Laos. Very, very good Dyra play from J4ZB.
Agreed. Now, Team Philippines, they are going to struggle a little bit more. Real Mission comes in from the side of Sozo to fight his way through. Well, Luna blocking as much as she can, but unfortunately will get chipped away from the Numenor Blast. Not going to do too much. Bistan, however, will survive towards last HP. Rosario thinking about going for the chase, but instead is a little bit afraid of what Nanoship is going to do to him. Just been going for the fight. Here comes the Dirov, getting a little bit scary. But seems like Philippines, they are going to back off and not overextend this play. However, bottom side, here comes the catch. Gonzalez actually getting chewed by too easy for Lexi. It seems like a little bit of adaptation, a little bit of a hero switch. Team Laos, they are looking stronger than ever.
And look at the items coming in for the side of Farad. He has the Brute Force Breastplate, so every single time he attacks, he's gonna get a little bit more tanky. And then with the Sky Garden helmet, whenever he just walks around, he gets a lot of regen. But once he uses Daytona Welcome, which has more regen, it's gonna be even more insane. And right now we can see that the team fight on the mid side, they want to secure this mid. Laos is able to get it. Villaluna with very, very low HP, but already having the immortality, Laos are just gonna be like, we have what we wanted, and let's just back off. Very good discipline coming in from the national team of Laos.
Yep, I definitely agree. A much better performance compared to the previous ones, but as of yet, they're doing fantastically well to scale his way through. Meanwhile, in Philippines, you can see Gonzalez is struggling to get some sort of farm, however, is getting a lot of space down bottom. Meanwhile, Team Philippines is going to try and stall up some time down towards the Lord Pit. As of yet, Team Laos, do they want to fight? It seems like they want to, but I don't think they can afford to, just because of the lanes being shoved down to the bottom side. And now Team Philippines, they're looking to force an issue.
Yeah, we can see how Team Laos, just as what you said, Terrence, they want to look for a fight. They're just not sure what angle is the best. Nanoship is just trying to get an Iron Hook. He just doesn't matter who. And Gonzalez goes in using the Blazing Duet, but not hitting any targets. And that is a big ultimate down coming in from the side of Philippines. Laos, if they want, they can take advantage of it. But right now, Philippines, they have to be careful because the Dyrov can't actually deal with the Esmeralda. A lot of invisibility is going on. And on the backside, we can see Real Manipulation has been opened up by the side of Laos, but no one really caught up in it. looks like this team fight is going nowhere.
Yep, here we go again as well. Major ultimate has been expanded. Team Philippines, they're very happy on the situation. They want to re-engage and punish this, and they are going to look to bomb the fight. But guess what? Villa Luna with a big Nomenon blast connects on Soul. Here comes the dawning light from Imam to scare him off, but wow, the rest of the teams from Team Philippines is going to be chipping his way. But here comes the hook from Team Laos. Catches El Rosario, takes them out. They trade jungle for jungle, but Soto is going to be the next to fall because J4Z Bin is here to party with the Dero.
Yeah, Laos looking so good right now, especially with winning the side lanes. I feel like the biggest threat for the side of Philippines is really this Dyrov, just because you kind of don't want him to join the team fight, but at the same time, if he's not in the team fight, he's pushing. And then when he's pushing, as of right now, no one is really able to deal with him because the Esmeralda has tried and has not succeeded.
Yeah. It's going to be a little bit difficult to actually deal with the Derov. It's going to take a little bit more time, especially coming from Gonzalez when he's playing a squad. And because once he actually gets his items and alongside with Imam, I don't think the Derov will be a big threat. It's more on going for those execution plays. But as you can see, Team Philippines, they are going to try and make an issue as well. Nanoship tries to go for the hook. Unfortunately, not going to be able to connect. So it's going to be a little bit more trading in terms of economy. Even though Philippines is losing out a little bit more, they're trying their best to salvage the XP, salvage the economy to try and scale in towards the ultra late stage of the game.
Yeah, and we do have to pay attention above, and we look at an engagement coming in from both teams. Gonzalez tried to chip out as many damage as he can, but he is not able to actually get any kills. And Dyrov in the backstage trying to kill someone. He manages in the front line. Soto trying to get onto Biston, but Biston still survives. Looks like both of the teams, they're playing front and back, but everyone is all over the place. Gonzalez still has a lot of HP there. Overall, good kiting from him, but this fight is not going anywhere else. But overall, good performance from Gonzalez, managing to actually dish out damage and still able to cut a lot coming in from Laos.
Yeah, J4Z been just doing an absolute amazing job in cutting the back lines. He's found multiple instances as well to make sure that either Rosario or Imam is going to have a very, very difficult time, because once these two get taken out of the equation, the team fights will swing in their favor. And he's been targeting Imam for a very good number of reasons. But as of yet, based on the itemizations, as of yet, Imam is looking for that big Divine Clays purchase. And once that's up, Team Laos, they've got to be very careful.
Yeah, Team Laos, they have to be careful. They have a lot of ways to really set up a team fight, especially when the real world manipulation is up. It makes it a little bit easier for Nanoship to actually hit his Iron Host just because everyone is slowed down. Same thing with Too Easy for Lexi. He can use his Daytona Welcome to actually catch anyone. They just have to be careful who they're going to catch, because looking at Gonzalez, he can, dash away. He can trade places with Dexter with the Battle Mirror image. So try to pick your targets as best as you can. As of right now, Laos as well as Philippines, they're slowing down the game, and this is why I say the Dyrov is a problem. Just because Philippines, they're not sure. Do they want to put more people on the side lanes, or do they want to go for this team fight? Right now, Laos, they have an advantage. They're going to start the Lord up here.
Yeah, it seems like that is going to be the flicker forward coming from Nanoship to try and pick it. Gonzalez going for the Blazing Duet as well, trying going for the fight. He chumps in down. That's going to be too easy for Lexi. Going out of equation, but the Lord is down towards half HP, but the reset is going to keep him alive, because that is going to be a triple kill coming from Del Rosario as he cleans out the back lines. A Nunuman Blast is going to keep Biston in check, as now Del Rosario has survived to live to tell the tale, but J4Z been getting hunted down like a mad dog he is, and that is going to be Team Philippines cutting them all out and leaving Biston alive, and that is going to be the easy Lord take up for Team Philippines.
I don't understand how Del Rosario does it. He just dances all around. Like, he understands, like, you want me, I just got a triple kill. You probably think I want a maniac. I do, but I'm gonna run away from you first. Very good performance coming in from J4Z Bin, but I would say better execution, and again, just like you say, trigger finger. I like that word. I'm going to keep using it after this.
Agreed. But 60% of the health being chunked up from one Dawning Light coming from Imam on towards Biston. As you can see, based on the items as well, he doesn't have a lot of defensive maneuvers. So that means one full combo coming from Imam is going to be able to shut him down. So this is going to be a very difficult situation, but hopefully they are going to be able to scale a little bit more. But let's take a look at items real quick coming in from Del Rosario as well. Almost nearly full items as well.
Yeah, just waiting on one immortality and then probably gonna finish off with his cursed helmet. As of right now, from inside the Philippines, they're looking very strong. They're looking very good. Right now, the Lord just secured a turret for them. Whether they want to engage or not, looking at Gonzalez, he looks like he wants to go in. Real Revelation has been opened up. Too easy for Lexi. Took too much damage, and look at that dawning light. Philippines right now, they're going in alongside with the Lord. They're pushing hard on the bottom turret. And we can see how Daryl tries to fight back. An amazing hook. Pulling back, but he dies first. Gonzalez staying in the back line, dealing out a lot of damage. They're going to focus on the Crystal, and the Crystal is going to go down. First game going over for the side of Philippines.
Very, very convincing game coming from the Philippines as well. It's all about hitting those timings, and they have done it very, very convincingly coming from Team Philippines. Another point in the hands of Philippines so far in all the matches they've gone. Very, very dominant force indeed.
We do have to look at patterns though, because even against Malaysia, in the early stages of the game, they actually let the enemy team take advantage. I wouldn't say let, but it becomes a situation where in the early stages of the game, not often do they get a lot of punishing plays from the enemy team. But once they have the items that they desire, once they have the levels that they need, once their ultimate has 3 stacks on it, they can do a lot. They can do a lot in the mid and late stages of the game. So I feel like if you're